ladies and gentlemen, we approach the end of a great philosophical moment in British history because we're getting to the end of the point where the franking of letters with Jesus is alive has come to an end. And it has made me think, made me wonder how people would react if Jesus really came back, if we had the second coming of our Saviour. I mean, how would it, for instance, be reported in the press? I mean, the Times, for instance, would unquestionably say, Jesus is back, so far no effect on the stock market. The Guardian, of course, wouldn't report it, because I shouldn't think they can spell Jesus, you know. Even though it's the new Guardian, it would definitely be Secund Kuming, Jesus is Bick, or something like that. The Daily Mirror, Jesus is back, Maxwell grants him audience. I reckon that'd be about the size of it. 100 free pairs of sandals to be won. You see, the press unquestionably trivialise everything. They can't help it. I mean, you know, you've got the King of Norway coming over, and what's all the photos? Whether or not poor old Fergie can curtsy when she's 6 months pregnant. Nobody can. I sympathise with you. I remember when Fergie first came along. They say I'm disrespectful to the royals. I mean, here you've got a new royal. What are the press wondering about? Are they wondering whether when she marries the prince she'll be a good, dignified addition to our overseas delegations? No! They want to know whether she's got a fat ass or not. That was a question in every newspaper through the summer of '86. Has the future Duchess got a big bum? Has she got a great big floppy old cat flap? And will they be able to crowbar it through the doors of the Abbey on the day? Very respectful Sun and Star and Mirror. I'm sure we love you, Your Majesty, but look at the Harris on that, eh? Very strange. I mean, the Sun says it's royalist, and then it says Prince Charles, who's got a lot of good ideas, is just a mad old hippie who sits in the desert staring at his gurus. I mean, what's that about? I wonder what it'd be like, actually, if we'd had the press in the days when the royals really made the news, when they were all cutting each other's heads off and giving each other syphilis and things like that. I mean, they made enough about the supposed tiff betwixt Fergie and Di. What would they have done with a real royal row, like the one between Elizabeth I and Mary? "Oh, you Scottish bitch," giggled haughty, half-bald virgin Liz. I mean, they bring you in, don't they? I mean, it's all very well knocking it, but we all read them, don't we? Although that's not actually an excuse. I mean, you know, lots of people bought Kylie Minogue's single, but that didn't stop it being crap, did it? You know, being shut up in your face was 4 weeks at #1, but I still wanted to kill every time I heard it. But nonetheless, it does draw you in. I mean, the insidious press, you can't help it. You're in a newsagent, there's all these racks of papers with their headlines, and there's a Sun headline, and you're going, God, how can they say that? It's like so brutal, it's so cruel, it's so bigoted and xenophobic. I wonder what's in the story. I must have a read. It's like pornography. You've got to put it inside a motorbike magazine. Oh, I'm reading the Sun. Well, I hope nobody sees me. You see, ladies and gentlemen, they break down all the images, you know? I mean, that man, that animal, what took over the Daily Star for a few months last autumn. That person with such degraded professional standards it beggared beliefs. He didn't last long, but he was the editor of your family Star. Editor! It was nothing but tits. How'd you edit a pair of tits, for God's sake? Cut them in half, put them on sideways. What are we going to do with these tits on page 7, editor? Well, I don't know, I'm pissed. Well, you're the editor. All right, let's have them full frontal. Extra tits, eh? That man, this is true. This is true. On his first week as editor of the Star, he chose to have as a front page, I swear, a nearly nude young woman. She was 15 on the front page, and the headline said, she's only 15. Well, it was about something like, I misquote, but it basically said, she's only 15, they're already 40 inches, and when she's 16, she'll show you her nipples. Now, we live in an atmosphere of violence against women and children, which is an epidemic, and this stupid bloke thought it was clever to put both on the front of a newspaper in combination. He should be shot. He should go to prison. Now, he's not there anymore. He's got elbows. He's got the elbow. And that was one unemployment statistic we were all very happy to welcome in, weren't we, eh? We thought, well, we're not too happy about the first 3 million unemployed, but that bastard from the Star, get him down the dole queue, no problem. How did he lose his job? I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Because Tesco's withdrew their advertising account. Well, God works in mysterious ways, eh? Very strange. Normo Tebbs, I know it sounds like a little leap, but it's not, it's connected. Norman Tebbit, in his capacity as chairperson of the Party of Family Values, the last job he did before he left that job was to go on the telly, again true, last order, and defend your Star, and in particular, the birds in your Sun. Obviously, trying to guarantee their undying support, he went on telly to defend the birds in the Sun. And how did he do it? First, it was brilliant. He established his credentials. He said, I'm just an ordinary bloke. Normo Tebbs, the ordinary bloke. Maybe in Transylvania he's an ordinary bloke. He said, I'm just a fellow in the pub. That's all I am. I'm just a fellow in the pub. And I know exactly which bastard he means, hey? He's the slimy little bloke in the corner on his own. The slimy one, drinking in his Mac, nursing a half a Guinness all evening, terrifying people that he's going to sidle over to them and say, is this seat taken? And sit down and start a conversation like, oh, I think they should bring back hanging for shoplifting, don't you? That's the sort of bloke Norm is. And this was his argument, ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not. His argument to defend your lovely teenage boobies in the sun. He said there was no difference between the lads having a bit of an ogle at the teenage boobies in the sun, no difference, and the poncy intellectuals, middle-class intellectuals, going down the art gallery and having a look at all the 18th century old masters of the nudie paintings. No difference. Now, either Normo is blind, or he's a liar. It's just a possibility. I'll throw it out. No more than that, ladies and gentlemen. Or he has never been to an art gallery. Have you been down there? Have you seen these paintings? Some cracked old bumpy oil painting, a raddled old picture of a 55-stone 17th century cat flap. I mean, it's not exactly going to give you a stiffy, is it? Come on. I mean, your average Picasso's got 6 tits, for Christ's sake. And they're square. Probably the old bloke from the Star put them on the front page. Look at this picture. It's only 70 years old and there's 6 tits, eh? And then, of course, you've got your hunky page 3 fellas to prove the sun's not sexist. Oh, yeah. I mean, imagine that down the old art gallery. You've got Michelangelo's David. You've seen the way he's hung. I mean, I'm no Rambo, but he makes me look like Nelson's column, no problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was his argument, that it's no different. Now, be honest, come on, let's be fair. Have you ever been down an art gallery and had a look and seen all the poncy art professors with the beards and the bald heads putting a catalogue under their arm and sneaking off to the toilets for a bit of executive relief, eh? No, it's not going to happen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in a book by Dante, Dante's Inferno. Dante's Inferno is a classic of Italian literature. They do say it's the classic. And what it's about is hell. That's what it's about. The book is a journey through hell, Dante's description of hell. And what he does in this book is he takes us on a journey through hell, through what he calls the 9 circles of hell, in degrading levels. Every level of degradation, it gets worse as we descend through the hell and degradation, through the fire and the brimstone. Dante takes us on his personal vision of a personal hell, through the suffering, the purgatory, the endless gnashing of teeth, and the endless human suffering, until we arrive at the bottom of the pit of hell. The 9th circle, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate human evil. And there, Dante shares with us his vision of the bottom of hell. And he says that it is Judas Iscariot lying at the bottom of the pit of hell, encased not in fire, but in ice. His eyes wide open, awake for all eternity, conscious forevermore of the enormity of his crime. And that is what Dante says lies at the bottom of the pit of hell. But I say that underneath Judas Iscariot, who lies there in the bottom of the pit of hell, underneath Judas Iscariot is the editor of The Sun, looking up his backside. Looking up his backside to see if he's queer or not. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, I love what's said in the Bible, but I believe there's just a chance if the Sun had to report the returning of Jesus, they'd be thinking, how are we going to stitch up this hippie who keeps wanting to give all the money away and says, blessed are the poor and the meek? I know, let's get him on a sex scandal. He hangs around with 12 blokes, must be something in that, eh? There you go, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of a vision of the future, and I'm sure as hell going to get stitched up in the papers for the next 6 months. So, right now,